Let's check Snoop Dogg, a West Coast rap icon in this Underdog movie. Once a football deity, Jaycen Double J Jennings faced a dramatic fall from grace. Now sentenced to community service, he discovers an unexpected opportunity, coaching a misfit kids team. As Jaycen transforms from a fallen idol to a mentor, he must choose between personal glory and leading his underdog team in the finals against his arch nemesis. Will he prioritize personal ambition or stand by his newfound team? Watch until the end and find out. Let's dive in. The story opens with a football game playing on the screen, as a voice narrates in the background about how America loves an underdog. A person that no one believes can achieve greatness, but a person who was born great is loved more. Jaycen Jennings, also known as Double J, fulfills this requirement. He is a famous football player, and when he was at his peak, he ruled the football world. People couldn't stop praising him, and all the news anchors and game experts will talk about how good he is. Jaycen is the one narrating his story and says that he was as popular as a god, worshipped in every house. But when someone is on top, people love to see them fail. When his performance started to decline, these people went against him, and all the news people started to talk badly about him. His bad attitude and angry tantrums on various occasions gave his enemies a chance to talk badly about him. Jaycen continues to narrate that all this taught him a valuable lesson, which is to never count on anyone, not even your fans or coach. The scene changes to his house, where Jaycen, 20 years later in his life, is lying comfortably on his bed, recording a pod that is now his main hobby. He ends his podcast by saying that, at the end of the day, it is just media people trying to hold back the real genes. After he stops recording, Jaycen gets out of bed and starts moving around his house while listening to a football expert, Chip Collins, talk about how Jaycen shouldn't be added to the top 5 players of all time. Jaycen is angry with Chip for continuously talking bad about him and posting on Twitter about how he will deal with him when they meet next time. After threatening his enemy through a tweet, Jaycen calls his agent Ryan's office but finds out that he is busy right now. Jaycen keeps calling the office repeatedly throughout the day, but every time they make a new excuse, finally losing his patience, Jaycen visits the company and is annoyed to see Ryan casually exercising in the office. Seeing him there, Ryan quickly says that he was going to call him next, but Jaycen is not convinced by his lies. Ignoring his excuses, Jaycen reminds him about their deal about how he will create a podcast, and Ryan will get him a commentary job so he can get back in the spotlight. Ryan honestly replies that he remembers their deal, but the people don't want to work with Jaycen because they say that he is a selfish person who is difficult to work with. Jaycen is irritated as he asks him if people don't think badly of Chip, but Ryan says that the public has mixed opinions about him, but they completely dislike Jaycen. Ryan then suggests that Jaycen should do some charity work for positive PR, but Jaycen is not happy with his suggestion and insists that he should help him get back in the game. Ryan again tells him to reconsider some dance offers, but Jaycen is furious at this point and leaves the office. Outside, he bumps into someone, which fuels his anger, and he starts arguing with the person. A person standing nearby recognizes Jaycen and starts recording him, which angers the footballer further, and he drives away in his car. But due to overspeeding, he crashes into a bus coming from the opposite side. The whole scene was recorded by someone, and it went viral on the internet, with people making funny edits of it, and it also made the news. The scene switches to a court where Jaycen is facing his trial. The judge named Tara charged him with speeding and damaging property, but instead of putting him in jail, she sentenced him to 300 hours of community service in his old neighborhood. Jaycen tries to protest against the punishment, but the judge seems to get offended by the fact that he doesn't want to go back to the place where he grew up. She reveals that she is from the same neighborhood as him, but Jaycen doesn't remember her name even after she tells him. This angers the judge more, and she tells him to leave the court, sealing his punishment and saying that she will make sure to tell everyone about him. 5 weeks later, Jaycen goes back to his neighborhood. He is sitting in his parked car when someone breaks into it, asking him to hand over the keys. But to Jaycen's surprise, he recognizes the man as his old friend Kareem. When the other recognizes Jaycen, he seems ecstatic to reunite with his old friend and is sure that Jaycen missed him just like he did. Kareem exchanges numbers with Jaycen and leaves him to go to another car. Jaycen goes back to his work as he moves to a nearby park and starts picking up trash. A football team of children meets him there and starts making fun of him for being a janitor. Jaycen is furious at the kids and leaves from there, ignoring their mocking comments. He is about to leave when one of the kids' mothers comes there, and Jaycen is extremely surprised when he recognizes her as Charisse, his high school sweetheart. Unlike him, Charisse is not very happy to meet him and leads the team away, telling them that their new coach has resigned. That evening, Charisse and Jaycen both recalled the good time they had spent together. Later, Jaycen is resting at home when the doorbell rings, and to his surprise, Kareem comes there. Jaycen tries to send his friend away at first, not wanting to be his company, but soon he gives in and lets Kareem in. They both sit together to smoke weed, as Kareem suggests that Jaycen should start coaching the children's football team, as it will get him some positive PR. He says that it will get Jaycen back in the limelight, and he will also get a chance to be close to Charisse. With this plan in mind, Jaycen negotiates with the judge and changes his community service duties from cleaning to coaching. Jaycen goes to the park again, announcing to the kids that he is their new coach. He takes a quick picture of the team and posts it on Twitter with a caption about how he is volunteering to coach this team. He is about to leave when the kids tell him that they have an important game coming up, so he just tells them to run the drill and leaves. In his next meeting with Kareem, his friend asks to be his assistant coach, but Jaycen refuses to let him do that. After a few days, Jaycen goes to coach the kids for their first game. He is not very interested in the game at first, but after finding out that Chip is coaching the other team, he gets determined to let his team win the game. Despite him yelling at the kids, they show a poor performance and end up fighting with the other team. Chip records all this on his phone and posts the video online, talking about how it all happened because of Jaycen's bad coaching. After the poor match, Jaycen visits his old school and meets his former coach there. The coach talks to him about the days when he was just starting out, and how he doesn't change the layout of his old office because it reminds him of all the students he has trained. That gives Jaycen the idea to treat the kids as something in their own right, instead of a way to accomplish his personal goals. That is the start of Jaycen's real coaching journey. Children are sensitive to the most hidden feelings, even if they can't identify or express them, and with a shift in Jaycen's attitude, they become more responsive to him. Jaycen realizes that coaching is going to be tougher than becoming a player on his own. He starts concentrating on the little things and tries to correct them on his own. He observes that Trey, the most talented player in the squad, used to play on his own, resulting in frustration inside the team. Jaycen finds himself seeing his style of play. Looking at him, Jaycen realizes that he used to be the same way. He had become so self-obsessed that he never acknowledged that he was still part of a team, and that is why everyone had come to hate him so much. He talks to Trey, telling him about his story and making him understand that individuals sometimes matter in big games, but it is the team that wins the tournament. Meanwhile, the other kids also have struggles of their own. One of them is a Game of Thrones fan, and he is picked on by everyone for being a nerd. Jaycen tells the kid to channel his inner Drogon and bring the required fierceness into the game. Yet another kid always hides behind a helmet, and it turns out that it was a girl all along. When her secret is revealed, she is met with applause because the women are happy to see her play. There is yet another kid who is embarrassed about living in a trailer park, but Jaycen tells him to own up to it. Even for Tony, who used to lie to his parents about math classes, Jaycen teaches him to stand up against his parents. Bit by bit, the children of the team start finding the right direction, and Jaycen becomes the reason behind it. Jaycen brings so many changes to the team. The children have a new jersey with the numbers and their names on it. As the league begins, Jaycen's team performs brightly from the start. In the end, at the finals, they face their old rivals, Chip Collins' team. Jaycen's work so far with the team has been well received by the American people, and now Ryan calls Jaycen to inform him that his community service finally pays off. Jaycen is called to host his own podcast on Fox Sports. This is one hell of an opportunity Jaycen has always dreamt of. But the problem is, Jaycen is required to be on Fox Sports on Sunday, the day of the final. Jaycen is in a dilemma, and seeing him in such a condition brings despair to the team. They believe that Jaycen, being a selfish old man as always, will definitely pick the opportunity over the game on Sunday. Jaycen visits his first coach ever, Coach Feist, to seek a solution. Feist does not have enough time to talk to him, as he needs to see his family. On Sunday, we see Jaycen on Fox Sports while his team is ready to face Chip Collins. But surprisingly, the word family hits Jaycen in a very different way. He remembers all the faces he has spent time with within the last few days. Fox is not Jaycen's family, it never will be. He realizes that his family is out there playing his archenemy, Chip Collins. He leaves Fox, saying that he needs to go to the bathroom on a live show to meet with his team. No. Jaycen's team loses the final by a mere 3 points, or perhaps a mere 3 inches, as Tony fails to touchdown in the final moment. But the game was never about winning. It was the beginning of Trey's career as a leader. When the team was nowhere near winning in the break, it was Trey who stood up and inspired the whole team, saying that they were underdogs and they were never going to break down. It was the beginning of Coach Jaycen, who left his dream job to support his family and his team. As Jaycen says, one loss doesn't define a career or a life. It is the attitude that matters, and for the underdogs, failures just fuel the fire for greater success, so the team is more than fine despite having lost. As for Jaycen himself, if someone live streams the game, his popularity will ensure that he gets invited back to the job. Otherwise, Jaycen has found something he loves anyway, so his life is also fine. That wraps it up for the Underdogs. In what ways does the film resonate with audiences through its portrayal of resilience, teamwork, and triumph against all odds? Does the Underdogs shed light on important social issues, such as perseverance, identity, and the pursuit of dreams, through its characters and storyline? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button for more inspiring content. Thanks for watching.